Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jana Yashodhanandana Vrajadana Yashodhanandana Vrajadana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवते उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 2, The Activities of Maharaj Agnidra, Text 12. लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतात्मतावकं मे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतं तावकं मे
यत्रत्य इत्थं पुरसावय अपूर्वौ
यत्रत्यायितं पुरुषावयवपूर्वौ
अस्मद्विद्यस्य मन उन्नयनौ बिभ्रति
अस्मद्विद्यस्य मनोन्नयनो बिभ्रति
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुहादि वक्त्रे
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतात्मतावकं मे
लोकं प्रदर्शय सुहृतं तावकं मे
यत्रत्य इत्थं उरसावयव अपूर्वौ
यत्रत्यायितं पुरुषावयवपूर्वौ
अस्माद्विदस्य मन उन्नयनौ बिभ्रति
अस्माद्विदस्य मनोन्नयनो बिभ्रति
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतात्मतावकं मे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतं तावकं मे
यत्रत्य इत्थं उरसावयव अपूर्वयो
यत्रत्यायितं पुरुषावयवपूर्वौ
अस्मद्विदस्य मन उन्नयनौ बिभ्रति
अस्मद्विदस्य मनोन्नयनो बिभ्रति
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
लोकं प्रदर्शय सुहृतं तावकं मे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतावकं मे
यत्रत्ययुक्तं पुरसावयावपूर्वौ
यत्रत्ययुक्तं पुरसावयवापूर्वौ
अस्मद्विदस्य मन उन्नयनौ विवर्ति
अस्मद्विदस्य मन उन्नयनौ विभक्ति
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
लोकं प्रदर्शय सुहृत्तमतावकं मे
लोकं प्रदर्श्य सुहृतावकं मे
यत्रत्य इत्थं पुरसावयवावपूर्वौ
यत्रत्ययुक्तं पुरुषावयवपूर्वौ
अस्मद्विदस्य मन उन्नयनौ विवर्ति
अस्मद्विदस्य मनोन्नयनो विभक्ति
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
भवद्भुतं सरसराससुधादिवक्त्रे
What word meaning? Lokam,
Lokam,
residential place.
residential place.
Pradarshya,
Pradarshya,
please show.
please show.
Suhruttama,
Suhruttama,
O best of friends.
O best of friends.
Tavakam,
Tavakam,
your,
me,
unto me.
unto me.
Yatratyaha,
Yatratyaha,
a person born wherein.
a person born wherein.
Ittaham,
Ittaham,
like this.
like this.
Urasa,
Urasa,
by the chest.
by the chest.
Avyayau,
Avayav,
two limbs.
two limbs.
Breast.
Breast.
Apurvav,
Apurva,
wonderful.
wonderful.
Asmad vidhasya,
Asmat vidasya,
of a person like me.
of a person like me.
Mana unnayanau,
Manaha unnayanav,
very agitating to the mind.
very agitating to the mind.
Bibrati,
Vivarti,
sustains.
sustains.
Bahu,
Bahu,
many.
many.
Adbhutam,
Adbhutam,
wonderful.
wonderful.
Sarasa,
Sarasa,
sweet words.
sweet words.
Rasa,
Rasa,
amorous gestures like smiling.
amorous gestures like smiling.
Sudha adi,
Sudha adi,
such as nectar.
such as nectar.
Vaktre,
Vakre,
in the mouth.
in the mouth.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O best friend, will you kindly show me the place where you reside? I cannot imagine how the residents of that place have gotten such wonderful bodily features as your raised breasts, which agitate the mind and eyes of a person like me, who sees them. Judging by the sweet speech and kind smile of those residents, I think that their mouth must contain nectar. Purport. Still bewildered, Agnidra wanted to see the place from which the Brahmana boy had came, where the men had such raised breasts. Such attractive features, he thought, must be due to the severe austerities performed there. Agnidra addressed the girl as Suhrutama, the best friend, so that she would not refuse to take him there. Not only as Agnidra captivated by the girl's raised breast, he was also attracted by her sweet words, sweet speech. Nectar smeared to emanate from her mouth, and therefore he was increasingly surprised. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamadyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalagita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishave Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Translation. O best friend, will you kindly show me the place where you reside? I cannot imagine how the residents of that place have gotten such wonderful bodily features as your raised breasts, which agitate the minds and eyes of such like persons like me who sees them. Judging by the sweet speech and kind smile of those residents, I think that their mouth must contain nectar. So, we are discussing about the chapter 2 of 5th canto, that is, it is of Maharaj Agnidra. So, in this chapter, previously we have seen how this Maharaj Agnitra was having some kind of material desires. So, especially he had a material desire to achieve the Pitrulokas. In that content, he is working so that he can get a nice son from whom the uh, some what we call that the pinda dan can be done, so that forefathers can be delivered, and in that way when he do worship their forefathers, and he can also attain the Pitrulokas. So here Agnidra was doing some kind of austerity for a wife, for a qualified wife from whom he can get a qualified son. Son is very much required in a Grahastha life. He is called as a Putra because the one who can deliver his forefathers and the parents from the Punnama Naraka. So he is called as a Putra. So for that, to have that qualified son, he started doing austerity to get a good wife. So in that sense, like Purvachitti is being sent by Lord Brahma so that he can get captivated to her. And Purvachitti, one of the Urvashis of the heavenly planets, she comes down and she started trying to disturb Agnidra, who is in the meditation. And we have seen how he was doing severe meditation and how his meditation is broken by the tinkling of her ankle bells, and the bangles, the tinkling sound of the bangles. So finally, he got disturbed by her gestures and by her tinkling and sweet voice, and she was just roaming all around the place where Agnidra was sitting and doing severe austerity. And finally, he broke the meditation and saw who is there. Then he got bewildered by seeing the beauty of Purvachitti. So here, I am not going to describe about the bodily features or the gestures what Purvachitti is doing. It is not our business. But something deeper which we are going to discuss is about the beauty. We see, like in this material world or in the whole creation, whatever wonderful things or beautiful things we see, that is all emanating from the splendor spark of the Lord. So in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, text 41, it says, यद्यद् विभूतिमत्सर्वं श्रीमद् ऊर्ध्वम् एव वा तत्तत् एवा गच्छत्वं मम तेजोशां संभवः. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So Krishna says, like whatever things we are seeing, whatever beautiful things we are seeing, what are the wonderful things or activities we are seeing, that all emanating from the Lord. Source is the Lord. So here, the beauty what Agnidra was seeing, and it's also there is a connection. The beauty that has acquired by the Purvachitti. Generally, we see in our material world also. Some are very much beautiful, some are very much wealthy, some are very famous and followers. So these are all opulence in this material world. But they acquire these kind of material opulences or beauty based on their previous karmic activities. So if they are doing some karmic activities, karmic pious activities, then in the next life they will get these kind of beautiful things, wonderful things. So, but a materialistic, he sees this kind of beauty and immediately he get a thought which is of material that he want to enjoy or exploit. But here also in the translation we can see the sloka also talks about that, like Agnidra, he also got captivated by the material beauty of a Purvachitti, but rather he didn't see the connection between the beauty and the Supreme Lord. So he like how Agnitra got attracted to the bodily features of the Purvachitti. So a material person, he also get attracted when he sees these kind of wonderful things, and he also laments saying that no, I also don't have this, so I have to acquire. I have to. He just runs behind it. You can see like here, as soon as when Agnidra saw the beautiful gestures or beautiful form and raised breasts, hips, and very beautiful face, smiling face, then he got attracted. Even the aroma that comes from her body and the smell come from her mouth, he got attracted to all these things, not thinking that no, these are the part or these are the sources from coming from the Supreme Lord. Rather, as a materialistic, how they get attracted, he also get attracted, carried away by the Maya influence of the Maya. So, but a devotee who is perfectly situated and practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously, then he can understand the source between this. Even though how much ever alluring things you keep in front of him, he can able to connect them with the Krishna, and he will not get distracted. We can see like in the previous lectures also we have seen how these kind of allurements are being presented in front of Haridas Thakur also. So not once, it was being kept twice. Even Parvati, her herself, she came to disturb or distract Haridas Thakur. Once, like I think Chand Kazi, he has sent a prostitute for disturb Haridas Thakur. But you can see, like in both the cases, Haridas Thakur was not at all disturbed. But if a normal person or ordinary common person easily will get disturbed by these kind of allurements, because they don't see the connection between the source and the beauty. So even though like Haridas Thakur, when prostitute came, so he was just attracted or just attached to the holy name, and he was continuously doing his sadhana, and he was saying like no to these kind of allurements, and he says like wait, I will finish my prescribed rounds, then I will fulfill. But he whole day chanted and he don't have time to think of no other than devotional service. So from this lesson we can understand, from this pastime we can understand that we should also continuously, or we should also be engaged in the devotional service. Then we will be like protected from these kind of allurements, or else we will be easily carried away. And even though I have seen personally like great souls, even my spiritual master, they will be even Srila Prabhupada in this case also, in many lectures we have heard, in the conversations and in the morning walks we have seen like what is their vision, right? So even though there are so many allurements, but still they were able to remember the Lord. So in any situation, like one time happened, so like when Prabhupada was giving lecture, So one young lady, she got up and she started undressed herself and saying like, no, please marry me. So Prabhupada was 70 years old and she is like, something like 16 or 18 years. And she started alluring Prabhupada. He just ignored, saying that no, I'm not qualified for you. So, means these kind of things, like, if these kind of things are presented to a materialistic man, definitely he will like carried away. And even we have seen like, so many cases like so-called spiritual persons, they are being caught red-handed by these kind of doing activities, like enjoying with the women and so and so. And proper devotee who is situated in Krishna consciousness, so he will never get disturbed. And here we see Prabhupada started purpose saying that still he is bewildered. So Agnitra, to such an extent he went like, he not only enjoyed seeing the Purvachiti by through his eyes, but rather he wanted to know where is her address. He wanted to know more details about her, and wanted in the further slokas we can see like he started following her, going mad and going following her, and till the extent he went that he just proposed saying that no, I want to marry you, I want to beget children. So generally, at least here we can appreciate Agnidra that he got attracted to one woman and wanted to enter with a woman into the family life. But here materialistic people are not like that. They want to exploit this girl, that girl, and so many girls. They don't want to marry at all. They just wanted to enjoy. So this is the mentality of a materialistic person. So here also Agnidra was going till that extent where he was out of control and bewilderment. He was completely bewildered by her gestures and beauty. And you see, what is the definition of a bewilderment? So bewilderment means like you see something but you can't understand what is its actual identity. Like Agnidra, instead of seeing the beauty and remembering the Lord, he started thinking that she is her enjoyment. She is just for her himself, so that he can enjoy with her. So, but he is being captivated by this illusory power, and he is being carried away by that. So he is completely bewildered, and he started following Purvachitti and asking all these things. Where are you from? Where is your place? And he started saying that Prabhupada writes, he says like you are the best friend. So that it says like Agnida addressed the girl as a best friend, so that she would not refuse to take him there, right? So like this in different ways, he's trying to impress Purvachitti and wanted to satisfy his material desires. And one more thing is also there, like Prabhupada talks about nectar which is emanating from the mouth of the Purvachitti. So we see like in the further slokas it is also more described about this. So here we see like the nectar which is coming from the mouth is actually not the nectar, but it's just a what we call Agnidra's kind of imagination that he is getting that kind of taste from her mouth, because he is just captivated. So whatever gestures, whatever activities Purvachitti is doing, like she was playing with the ball, and whatever she is doing, he is captivated because he just intensely desires that he want her. So whatever activity she is doing, he is appreciating that. And Prabhupada says like but devotees, for them the nectar is like the holy name, and especially the Krishna Prasad for them. And you see like the devotees who are there, like especially the pujaris who are doing deity worship, you can see that they have some kind of aroma coming from their body, because they are always there in the puja room, and their uh, uh, clothes or hands or body which have been used for in the service, those are being touched by the fragrance flowers of the Lord, and fragrance oil which we apply to the Lord, and incense what we offer to the Lord. By them, their body also being become as a little like a fragrance. So that fragrance, that kind of fragrance is very attractive, but than this kind of material fragrance. You can see people, they use so many things, fragrance like deodorants or mouth fresheners and so many other stuff, uh, to just cover their what we call uh, odor, or the smell, odd smell which they come from their body, right? But how long they will cover? Until unless their deodorant loss. After that, their real nature comes out. We can feel like when they come closer and talks to us, like after their mouth freshener is done, finished, we can smell a lot of onion and garlic smell coming out from there, and meat smell, and sweat, lot of sweat, and the repeated clothes, they don't wash their clothes, they keep wearing the clothes for a long time, so they are smelling very bad. So these kind of odors come from their body. But from the devotees, this one we can see like they have a lot of good fragrance. So that is called like spiritual, that which is being, they are using in the Lord's service. And even though we offer lasam oil and we offer to all the devotees, and that fragrance is very nice, and it lasts for long, and it is very also, it also increases our spiritual quotient, and we get closer to the Lord when we smell them. And rather when we smell the material kind of smells, we devotees especially, they feel odd and they don't happy with that odor, like. So here, since he is bewildered, Agnidra was completely bewildered, and he don't know what he is doing. He is completely captivated by her beauty. So whatever gestures or whatever that's coming, aroma, fragrance, whatever is there, he started getting attracted to it slowly. And in the further slokas, we can see like he started running behind her, and or like proposing her like to get married. So especially we can see the only thing what we have to understand in these kind of definitions, or these kind of like these all kind of material glorifications or material things. But why these are being kept in Srimad Bhagavatam? Because Srimad Bhagavatam describes all these kind of things, so that the one who is reading, he no need to have to go for any other scriptures, right? So it gives all complete knowledge. And you can see even there are so many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam like this, like even who is that, Kapil Muni's father, Devhuti, Kardama Muni. No, even Kardama Muni, he did austerity for 10,000 years just for a wife, right? So why he did for that? Because it is being recommended for a for one who is wanted to enter into the Grahastha life, they have to do this severe austerity before they enter into the Grahastha life. And what is the result? You see, Lord personally came and he suggested that no, you go and marry such and such wife, and she is suitable for you, and whatever activities you are going to do, she is going to cooperate with you. So that is very important. So when Kardamuni, like a great devotee, when he is doing Krishna consciousness activities, for that he need a cooperation from wife. So it is said, when we are doing Krishna consciousness, both wife and husband are being introduced into Krishna consciousness. Not that only wife or not that only husband. Both are required. So because that is the full, like Grahastha life means both wife and husband. So both are should be both should be engaged in this Krishna conscious activity. And the result you can see, like when Kardamuni he beget the children, he got a Lord himself. Kapila Muni, he is a Lord, he is the incarnation of the Lord, and he himself, Lord himself comes by seeing their severe austerities, both wife and husband they are doing. So Lord got attracted to them. So this is very important. So instead of getting attracted to these kind of material activities, so better practice the Krishna consciousness and follow the rules and regulations. Even though if it is a any ashrama, if it is, so there are prescribed rules and regulations are being described. So I was reading in seventh canto so of Srimad Bhagavatam, last 3-4 chapters are being described about this only. So what is the ideal family, and who is the ideal person, and what are the characteristics of the brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas ashram. They are being described in last 4-5 chapters. So just by reading and following that, we can also become a perfect devotee. And these kind of allurements, like especially when it comes to grahastha life, so these kind of allurements will not disturb them, because they know what should be their duty, and they following the instructions from the scriptures, and by following this they will be saved from these kind of allurements. So even though wife is there with him, so he will not get disturbed, and he will continue his Krishna consciousness. So from this we can understand, like in this material world we have these kind of allurements all over. So but to save ourselves we should go deeper into Krishna consciousness and see the connection between them with the Lord, see the source. Then we can easily protected from these kind of allurements. So with this I will just pause today's class. So if you have any questions, comments or doubts.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very nice class. So this is very, very important for that. Arguments are already there, especially in this age of Kali, this present age. But until and unless we go deep into Krishna consciousness, we cannot get out of those arguments. Very difficult. So we have to go deep and should see whatever is there. Great thing. It's just a spark, splendor of the Lord. So if we can see that, we can get out of many anarthas and get out of this allurements also. It's a very, very important thing which I would like to take in it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for nice class. So I can say like one point, like pure devotee is always connected to Krishna, even if it is showing like a material things, but pure devotee is always all these things will connected towards Krishna. Just like given by the example of Prabhupada, like even the dance. In the bar, in the material world, like in bar, so many girls are going and dancing. But Prabhupada is mentioning like let's dance towards a rasa dance, this kind of things. So always pure devotee is always showing as a like a connection towards Krishna.
Everything beautiful in this world is emanating from these splendor spots, these Lord, and it is very important that we relate everything beautiful, everything in the world with the Lord. And one who is on this platform is able to stay away from all destruction and distractions of these sense objects that are around. And by continuing beautiful service, one can attain this platform, and one speaks and doesn't get space by the different governments and so Maya is so strong, we see that in this story we understand that Maya is so strong that even if some activity may be inappropriate or may be wrong, but then we may consider it to be right and we start appreciating these things. So that one must always be strongly follow the instructions of the scriptures, and through this one understands his right, his prescribed duties, and is protected from the attractions of this material world.
this point was very nice that when we are bewildered, we can't understand our identity. And just like Agnidhara was bewildered, so we cannot understand what is right and what is wrong. And he could not even understand that there is a male or female in front of him. And when we don't see the relationship of anything with Krishna, so then we are get attracted by Maya, and that is when these are elements who pull us away from Krishna consciousness. So we should see whatever beauty is there, we should see that it is all but a spark or splendor of the beauty of the Supreme Lord.
You give correlation between what Agnidhara did here and what Prabhupada and Haridas Thakur is saying. This gives us a very good indicator of what our consciousness is and we see things and what we need to achieve as we grow in Krishna consciousness. That is one good correlation.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की